Welcome back. So in the previous lesson, we learned how to load in data that is in CSV format. And now let's do the same for Excel files. So in a business context, you're generally going to be working with Excel files. You're going to get data, which is either going to be just in one Excel file with a single tab. You might have another scenario in which you have one Excel file, but multiple tabs. And then you have to get all of that data into a data frame. And then another scenario could be you could have multiple Excel files that you have to get into a data frame before analysis. So we're going to explore all three of these different scenarios, but for now, let's focus on the first one. So the library that I'm going to be using is this readxl library, which gives me access to a function called readxl. No surprises there, right? And if I go to my data folder, I have an Excel file here. It's the same Excel file as basically the CSV file for Airbnb that we were looking at, but now we're going to use the Excel format. So the function we're going to use is readxl. So I'm just going to go ahead and type that in, readxl. And once I hit tab, I can see the arguments pop up. They look pretty similar to the read CSV one. So if you're comfortable with those ones, this should give you no challenge. The first one we're going to specify is the path. And here I'm going to specify that my file is in the data folder. So I'm just going to hit tab here. And then I'm going to go to the Excel file and then hit tab again. So now I'm going to execute this chunk. So I'm just going to hit Control and Enter, and it should load this data in. In this specific case, I know that the data is in one single tab. It's in sheet 1 of the Excel file. So if the data was in another tab and you had multiple tabs, but you just wanted to load in a specific tab, then you could also specify an argument for that. So in this case, I'm just going to specify that it's stored in sheet 1, which is the case for this data. And if I just execute this tab, it's going to load the data in. So at this point, you can see it looks pretty similar to what was loaded in when we used the read CSV file. And the data looks good. So what I'm going to do is basically save that as a variable called data. And at this point, we can glimpse the data. So I'm also going to basically pipe this into glimpse. And if I execute this whole chunk, I'm going to use Control, Alt, and C. And basically, we can see the data loaded in. And now we can go ahead and use this for our specific analysis. So as you can see, this is pretty straightforward, not much difference from when we loaded in a CSV file. And in the next videos, we're going to look at a couple of other scenarios for loading in Excel files. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.